So I thought I'd do a very quick video just to walk you through some of the features of different trekking poles, just for the purposes of the guide that I've written. And I've got three types of trekking poles that I use or have used or continue to use, and I just wanted you to see the difference between all three. As a general rule of thumb, all of the poles are going to come obviously with a handle. You can see there's actually three different types here, and the middle ones actually have cork, which is kind of cool. First thing is to bear in mind that with trekking poles they actually come in sizes. I'm 5'8", he said, so I tend to go for the 110 centimetre length, but if you're taller than 5'8", you'll probably want to go for the 120 or 130. Most poles obviously have different tip options. You can see here there's a rubber tip option there on the end of these. You can also get a carbide tip, which is this here. I prefer carbide. It seems to grip on more things like rocks in the wet all year round. If you're on a budget, you're going to be roughly at this end of trekking poles. These are some black diamond ones that I've included in the review. They're aluminium, so they're relatively inexpensive, and they're telescopic, so when they pack down, these clips pull and the pole gets smaller like a telescope, and you can see the size of it by the second one when it's packed down. You tend to sacrifice a bit of the pack down amount because they tend to still be quite long when they're packed down, and they're a little bit heavier, but from a cost point of view you can tend to pick up a pretty decent pair for between 30 and 70 bucks, which is a really nice starting point. On the intermediary ones, you've got these by Mons Peak. These guys design poles really to go up Everest. They're insanely well built. These ones, you've got an adjustable clip here, so you can actually adjust the height by about 10-15 centimeters, which is actually quite useful. And you can see these are actually a Z folding type, so you can see they pack up pretty small. If you compare it to the pack up size of the aluminium telescope ones, you can see just how much smaller these ones pack up as a Z folding variety. They're still a little bit heavier, which makes them a little bit stronger, but it does tend to keep the cost down on poles if you are on a budget. And then at the top end, the sort of high-tech end, is actually my complete favourite pole, which is the black diamond carbon pole. You can see they tend to be a little bit, pardon someone sneeze, they can be a little bit thinner than the aluminium ones because carbon fibre is very, very strong. These are also Z folding, so you can see they pack up very small, which means you can sort of attach them on the front of your pack. But the weight on these, they're incredibly lightweight, so they're still just as strong, but they hardly weigh anything. But with those you could be paying anywhere between about 120 and 160 bucks for them. So really it comes down to whatever you're willing to spend and how much you think you're going to use them. But there you go, that gives you a bit of an overview of the different types of trekking pole that you can choose from.